So before I do start this video, just know that this is going to be part 1 of 2. I decided to split these 2 videos because I didn't want to make this whole video just too long, and I just think that it would make much more sense to split this into 2 even parts. So this again will be part 1 of 2. Number 2 will be posted right above this video. So I hope you guys do enjoy this Barcelona content. Now let's get back to it. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the reasons why Barcelona are struggling this season. I think that it's very important for us to talk about this right now because look, in the past 5 matches, right? In the past 5, we played against Real Madrid, against Real Sociedad, against Shakhtar, and we also played against Alaves and also Rayo Vallecano. And in those games, right, we could have won a total of 15 points. When you combine all those matches together, of course, because some are Champions League matches, but we could have won 15 points. But in total, Barcelona only won 7. So Barcelona have been struggling a lot. And if you look at what Barcelona will be going through in the future, we have a very big test ahead of us. We have to face Porto, and we also have to face Atletico Madrid and then Girona. These 3 teams are not going to be easy. Porto are going to be coming in, and I'm assuming that they're going to come in and play very defensive tomorrow. And let me tell you guys, this is a game that can either go really good or really bad. Like, it can go really good in terms of if Barcelona win against Porto, we win 2-0 or 3-0, we're all going to be happy. And we can carry this momentum to the next game against Atletico Madrid and Girona, right? But if it goes bad, if we tie against Porto, or if Porto wins against us, the world will be on fire for every Barcelona fan. The club is also going to be on fire. Many players are going to be doubting themselves. Xavi Hernandez will be questioned. So this game against Porto is going to be very important. Then we're going to go up against Atletico Madrid, of course, which is not going to be an easy match. And then Girona, the team that does look like will be the surprise team of the season. And better than any other club right now in the top 5 leagues, Girona is the team to watch. They're doing an amazing job. I don't think that Girona is a bad team, and I also don't ever want to say that Barcelona deserve to be over Girona, because I don't even believe that myself. I really don't. I think that Girona deserve where they need to be at, and that is either first place or second place because of the amazing football that they play, and also because they bring a great defensive display. So props to them. I'm just so happy for Girona. But going back to Barcelona, right, they're going to be very difficult matches, very difficult. And you know, like I said on Twitter, I said something like, you guys can go look at my Twitter account, but I said that if Barcelona, right, win only 4 to 6 points in these next 3 matches, we can win a possible of 9. But if we only get 4 to 6 points from a possible of 9, Xavi's job will be in danger. I'm sorry to say that, but it will be. Now I know that we just heard that Joan Laporta is completely backing Xavi Hernandez and his position, but this is the thing, right? Like, why would he not say that? Why would Joan Laporta not say that he backs Xavi, especially when when we are going up against Porto, Atletico Madrid, and Girona? Like, of course, Joan Laporta is going to be saying that. But when you lose points and you lose against Porto and you tie against Atletico Madrid and you barely win Girona 1-0, then the whole situation does change. Then the atmosphere, the environment of this club is going to be like in a complete 360, the reverse of what we heard before on what Joan Laporta did say. And that is the thing that scares me, right? Is the fact that I don't want to see Xavi Hernandez leave the club. I really don't. Like, I want this project to continue. But I'm just letting you guys know that if Xavi Hernandez does lose a lot of points in these next 3 matches, his position will be questioned. And again, it's scary because if you take out Xavi Hernandez, because again, I don't want this to happen. I think that even if we lose points, Xavi should still continue. But I'm assuming Joan Laporta is going to have to do what he needs to do. But if Xavi does leave, who are we going to be replacing Xavi with? The only 2, I was going to say teachers, the only 2 coaches that I think could replace Xavi is Pep Guardiola and Luis Enrique. And those 2 coaches are not even available. Like, Pep Guardiola is so committed to Man City. Luis Enrique just signed to PSG. There's just no way. Now, we can say Hansi Flick. We can say maybe Tuchel, but he just signed for Bayern Munich. We can also say De Zerbi from Brighton. But here's where it does get very complicated, right? Because if Xavi Hernandez does leave for whatever reason, right? Let's just say, for example, Barcelona are on fire and we're losing a lot of points for the next 10 matches in general. The next coach that does come in, whether it's Hansi, Tuchel, De Zerbi, I don't care. You could call someone from El Salvador or Jamaica or a coach from the United States, whoever does come in, right, that coach is going to need to do better than what Barcelona is currently doing right now. And that is the most complicated thing to do, because every time you bring in a new coach, you're supposed supposed to give that coach time to rebuild, give them room for error. And right now, where Barcelona's in right now in the middle of the season, knowing that we're in the Champions League, competing for La Liga, we cannot allow to have a coach come in and give him the chance to rebuild and have room for error. We don't need that right now. We can't afford to do that, which is why I say whatever coach does come in that might potentially replace Xavi Hernandez, they need to do better than what Xavi Hernandez is doing right now. And that is a very tough thing to do. You barely see that. We also have to keep in mind that if these coaches, whether it's Hansi Flick or De Zerbi, if they ever consider moving to Barcelona, they're also going to have to consider the financial pool that Barcelona have, because they don't pull nothing. Like Barcelona pull no players. Like if these coaches want to ask for a specific high quality player, Barcelona cannot even do that. Like if Hansi Flick comes into Barcelona and he asks for Kylian Mbappe after having a full assessment of this squad, or he wants Julian Alvarez, Barcelona cannot do that. You really think that Barcelona can just say, oh yeah, sure, whatever you want, Hansi Flick, we'll get him. We'll build the team that you want. You really think that Joan Laporta is going to be able to do that? Now, I'm not one of the accountants of Barcelona, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think that that's in the reality of this club at the moment. And so this is why I think that it's important for us to not begin the social pressure, right, through the social media channels to say that, like Xavi Hernandez should be leaving, that he has no authority at this club, and that Xavi Hernandez is a disgrace, right? We cannot begin to do that. I think that we have to also understand why Xavi Hernandez is in this place in the first place, which is again the reason why I'm making this video. I want to talk about the reasons why Barcelona is struggling and why I believe we cannot be too harsh on Xavi and say that Xavi Hernandez needs to leave like now, because I'm starting to hear that from the media. Like many of you have been saying that Xavi Hernandez should leave now, like immediately, and we should replace him for Hansi Flick. But let's go into the assessment. Let's talk about why Xavi Hernandez and Barcelona are struggling. Point number one, Xavi Hernandez himself, right? This is going to be self-accountability. Xavi Hernandez himself has moved away from our best back line, which does consist of Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde. That was the best defensive line that Barcelona has ever placed out in a very long time, and we moved away from that after just one full season. Let me give you guys some context. Barcelona right now, at this moment, we're going to combine all the teams in the top 5 leagues. We're going to rank them, right? And we're going to put in goals allowed. The more goals you allow as a team, the higher you are on the table. Barcelona right now are on 70th place. 70th, because they have allowed 14 goals so far. Remember, the more goals you allow against you, the higher you're going to be in the table. So again, Barcelona is in 70th place. We move on towards what happened last season and where Barcelona ranked defensively. In terms of goals allowed, Barcelona were at the bottom of the table. They were the best defensive team in Europe. The best team. They were better than Napoli, Lens, Lazio, Juventus, Newcastle, Atletico Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, PSG, Inter Milan. They were better than every team in Europe defensively. They have only allowed 20 goals throughout the whole course of that season, which was the last season. Only 20 goals. Barcelona currently have already allowed 14, more than half of those 20 goals, and we haven't even finished half of this season. So it's clear that Barcelona have allowed so many more goals, and I question, why move away from our best defensive line? Why move away from Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde? Like, yes, I know that many might say, and Xavi might also say, we need more ways to score more goals. But what is the whole point of scoring more goals when you're allowing more goals against you? So like, if you really want to place Joao Cancelo and start him in every game, at the very least take out Alejandro Balde and put in Christensen as the left back, and you have Koundé and Araujo as the center back pairing with Cancelo as the right back, because then you have more defensive balance. Because when you have Balde and Cancelo as, in that defensive line, that's almost suicide. It's almost suicide, because when you have those two players go up there, you just leave so much space for Araujo and Koundé to cover, and they can only do so much. Like, yes, they're great center backs, but they can only do so much. What happens when you have Julian Alvarez or Kylian Mbappe or Haaland or Lautaro Martinez or Harry Kane go up against these two center backs? A lot of things could happen, and Barcelona might concede. This is something that we could see in the Champions League in the future. So it's quite clear that Xavi Hernandez is experimenting right now, and he's trying to find the balance between having a great defensive line and a great attacking line. So that is going to be wrapping up part 1 of 2. If you guys do want to see the next 2 points on why I believe that Xavi Hernandez is struggling at the moment with Barcelona, it's going to be in part 2. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.